Hello, and thank you for joining me today for the kickoff of my new tarot and astrology channel called Mystic Fox, where I offer free intuitive readings with channeled messages for the collective. For those of you who are not familiar with intuitive oracle and tarot readings, please be aware I do not always read messages as defined by traditional tarot. Sometimes the process pulls forth channeled messages that can come through randomly. When listening to my readings, or any readings really, you must practice personal discernment and know which messages are for you and which ones are not. Remember, this is a general reading, but if you are looking for a personalized reading, you can book one with me at affordable rates. Look for the details in the description box below. For today's reading, pick the pile or piles that call to you the most. You can choose by the number, the placement on the screen, the crystal, or you can simply place your fingers over the screen to see which one you are gravitating towards. Part of getting the most out of a pick-a-card reading on YouTube is really connecting to the energy of the reading and tuning into your own intuitive powers as a receiver of messages. Okay, so we have pile 1, and we have the stone called rhodonite. I hope I'm saying that correctly. For pile 2, we have this teardrop sodalite. For pile 3, we have this rough crystal quartz. Pile 4, we have a purple fluorite with some really neat wave patterns on it in the teardrop shape. I'm trying to not get the light on it. Sorry, guys. There we go. And for pile 5, we have charoite. I hope I'm saying that one correctly. I love this stone. So many neat patterns on it. So as your intuition leads you to your pile or piles, let me tell you a little bit more about this lunar eclipse reading. The May 26th lunar eclipse full moon in Sagittarius is also called the super flower blood moon, because the Earth's shadow will create a red tint, which is fitting considering this lunar eclipse will be one of the 3 fire signs of the zodiac. This is also when we have an abundance of flowers in North America, which lends to the super flower name addition. We all know that full moons can bring challenges to our lives, such as being a time to experience drama, upheavals, but also emotional breakthroughs. But eclipses can take this to a whole other level, especially when an eclipse falls in such a big sign like Sagittarius. For most of us, the amount of change we will experience in the next few days may overwhelm our ability to organize it, and so our best and possibly only option is to surrender to the waves of change entering into our energy field. If you can bravely enter this period without resistance, we may be able to catapult ourselves forward quickly in our journey within all the classic Sagittarius and Jupiter-ruled subjects. Off the bat, some of these that come to mind are goals involving education, success, travel, spirituality, philosophy, or acquiring an abundance of resources. Now is the time to let the lunar eclipse show us our inner and outer restrictions so that we can discover how to remove these blocks that keep us from living our best life. Okay, so let's get started with the reading. But before we get started, let's all take a moment to take a deep breath and allow ourselves to receive guidance from Spirit. Okay, let's start with pile 1. See if I can get a read on this stone. Every single time I see a pink stone, I mean, obviously relationships and love come up. Also heart healing. Maybe having some kind of a heavy heart comes to mind. Just really needing soothing, really feeling like needing restoration, change maybe. The opening of a heart chakra. Yeah. Gosh, this makes such like a nice pocket stone. You know how some people like to carry stones with them. It's very soothing. It kind of makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Okay, so this card is going to be present for every single reading so that we know what we're talking about here. So let's leave it right here. Okay, that's good enough. All right, so let's see what cards we have. Let's start with the astrology cards. So we have 4th house roots, solar eclipse. So we have lunar eclipse, solar eclipse. It's kind of a big card. What I find different about a lunar eclipse is needing to surrender to the change, whereas a solar eclipse is more like a very sudden change, a very rapid shift in circumstances. And the lunar eclipse is that way as well, but the lunar eclipse kind of gives this feeling as if okay, I know what I'm trying to discern. The lunar eclipse has more of an emotional feeling to it, an internal feeling to it. The solar eclipse, it just seems like it affects the external life a little bit more. Okay, so we also have the Shaolin Master. Be graceful in movement and action. And I love this card. The Maestro. Understanding, community, I can never say that word right. Ingenuity. Okay, so let's see. Gosh, I'm really getting that for you, pile 1. You are experiencing a very rapid shift. But this rapid shift is, it's hitting very close to home. It could literally be your home. Maybe you are having to move suddenly, relocate suddenly. Maybe you have a very sudden change in your family life, a relationship with your mom, or maybe you became a mom suddenly. Just a very rapid shift. And I feel like, in a way, this shift that you're facing, it feels initially dark. And I kind of get this with this solar eclipse here with, it just feels like, oh, this sudden shift, it's covering the sun, it's covering my joy, it's covering my plans. The sun, when I think of the sun versus the moon, for instance, the sun, it's like you can see your joy right in front of you. With the moon, it's like your joy is there somewhere intuitively, but you don't know where it is. And so I kind of get this feeling like you saw your joy, and now you don't. Like something happened very suddenly with your roots. Whatever, the roots could be for you. The 4th house is a huge, it is a huge house. It could refer to ancestral healing, generational healing, your past lives, your family, your mother, your father, even in some cases. It's like your entire foundation has just been uprooted somehow. And the Maestro and the Shaolin Master are coming in. They're saying, Be graceful. Be graceful in this change. When I think of like a martial artist or a Shaolin master, I feel like it's somebody that knows how to master and move gracefully in between being that warrior that takes action, but also that peacekeeper that knows when to not take action, when inaction is the best option. They move in between action and inaction very gracefully, like water. And the maestro, I feel like this is sort of telling you, we have another reference here of community right here. Easily another, connection to the fourth house roots here, which is also connected to family or home life, is that you might be in a position where you have to lead. You might have to lead your group or your community, or the people that count on you. You might have to show them a new way. You might have to create a new way. You might have to be, inspirational in your delivery. And I think this Shaolin master is telling you that finding how to flow through action and inaction gracefully is the new way that it's trying to lead you to. It's trying to show you that, with whatever happened to uproot you, you're going to be okay, because you're going to have a solution. Something's going to come up for you, and you are going to be able to flow through it with grace. So I feel that this lunar eclipse is telling you to surrender. It's telling you to surrender to whatever has been uprooted in your life, because it's leading you towards something else. It's leading you towards something that is for your highest good, although it won't feel like that. I mean, when you put these two cards together, this is turbulent. Whatever change is coming to you this way, it's not going to come through very pleasant, but these are very beautiful guardian cards. These are the energies that, Spirit is asking you to bring forth. Okay. Let's see if we can get some additional messages. Tarot. Oh, Ace of Cups. Gorgeous. Right here, under fourth house roots, you are being shown a new way to love, I think. New love is coming in, new creativity is coming in, new spirituality is coming in. The solar eclipse is coming in here to shake up your foundation. It's creating, cracks and holes in your foundation so that this Ace of Cups can come through and give you its gifts. It's here with its hand trying to hand you something. But when you have a fourth house, four is usually a symbol for. Oh, and here, look at that. 44, fourth house. If that is just the strongest symbol that, your foundation is being shooken. Is that a word? I don't know. It's being shaped. It's being shaped so that you can let new come through that is better for. Oh my gosh! Two of Cups. Look at that. And right next to it, you have new love, and you're going to have new connections, new birth. Oh, okay. Tarot is loving you right now. We have the Star and the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so what I notice about Solar Eclipse Revolution is it reminds me of the Tower card. You know, and so the Tower card in tarot comes right before the star. You know, the Tower is when all stable structures collapse, right? What we were talking about here. That this structure really wasn't that stable to begin with, whatever it was. You know, and so this one is saying it's coming in like the Tower, which is always a blessing in disguise, if you see it that way. The next card after the Tower is the Star, and that's when, you know, it's the calm after the storm. It's when we have star power. It's when we have the ability to see what is going to result through the changes that are happening through the Tower. You know, this is a time to have hope again, and I think this hope is leading you to some kind of new venture of some kind, a new job, you know, a new location, becoming a student of some kind, a new kind of learning, a commitment to a new kind of learning. Let's see if we can get some more cards. And Four of Pentacles. Okay. So when I see Four of Pentacles, and we have Four of House roots over here, this is kind of telling me you're in the process of building a different foundation. You know, the Page of Pentacles is the start. You know, it's the start of the court cards. It's when the student is committed to learning. And then the Four of Pentacles comes in and says, you're going to be building a foundation over what it is that you're learning here. Okay? And we have the Six of Swords card. You are moving into a new direction. Well, we kind of already knew that. So, thanks for the double confirmation there, Spirit. With that falling right next to the Master of Inspiration, the Maestro, though, I feel like you're moving into a new direction because, I mean, you feel inspired to. We have the Five of Cups. Okay, I kind of see that, like, you're at this point where you are really struggling. You are really struggling to let go of this, whatever this is. And as you progress in this journey, you're going to get to a point where you might feel some grief, some loss. You're going to be looking at the cups that you've lost instead of looking at the ones that you have left. You know, you have these two cups right there that are left over. You have new birth that's waiting for you. You have new love that's waiting for you. But, you know, we're focused on these three cups that have spilled. This old foundation, whatever it was. You know, Spirit wants you to let it go. You know, I know the Death card is scary for most people in tarot, but it literally just means an ending of letting it go. Okay? Let's see if we can find some other cards here. Alright, and so we have the Six of Wands next. Victory. And bottom deck energy, the Empress. So as I was shuffling, I was getting a lot of I was seeing a lot of cards like the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords, it points to an overactive mind, anxiety. So you might be feeling a lot of anxiety about this. Spirit is wanting to remind you that watch all of the, per se negative cards here. Five of Cups. This could be read as negative in some points of view. Just kind of, this person here, he's holding on to his coins. He can't move his arms because he's holding on to that coin. He can't move his head because he's holding on to that coin. Can't move his feet because he's holding on to that coin. So he's stuck. This could have meant building a new foundation, but I think with the next cards coming through, this is sort of reminding you that you need to move away. You need to move away from this old structure. And it might have not been a bad structure, but the solar eclipse here is, taking it away whether you like it or not. But it's giving you something better, You have, oh wow, look at that. And this was right under the Empress. You have the Six of Wands, the Empress, and the Ten of Pentacles. I mean, this is generational wealth here. You have the Empress, which brings a fertility, abundance, beauty, success. You're going to be successful. All you have to do is let it happen. Bring forth, allow the lunar eclipse here to do its work. Surrender to its process. If you need, if anything, I feel like this stone is telling you what you need. Allow yourself to be grieving. Allow yourself to be soothed, to be loved. This process, it might bring you loss or sadness. But it's bringing you something so good. Okay. Let's see if we can get a few advice cards here. And I feel like with that Ten of Pentacles that popped up earlier, I feel like it's saying the roots that you have now, or the foundation that you have now, wasn't ever going to really be as strong as it could have been. That you're going through this process so that you can actually understand and build a foundation that could really last. Like, really, really last. Oh, hey, look at this. This popped up. Taurus. Resources to maintain the practicality of, resulting from the productivity of. Okay, resources to maintain. Yeah, that definitely has some Ten of Pentacles energy right there. Okay, see if we can get some other. Maybe it's, telling you that your last foundation wasn't really going to produce much. Whether that was home, family, the relationship with your parents. Maybe you have to heal the relationship with your parents by leaving. Or maybe you're in a relationship where you're acting out some kind of trauma bond of some kind. That means when you have a relationship where your partner is playing out an unresolved issue with that you have with either your mother or your father. That could be an option. Of course, take what resonates and let go of what doesn't. Oh, Sagittarius, that's fitting, because lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. Oh, make the light go away. Okay, here we go. Sort of. Your highest ideals, the rules of get it out to the world and. Okay. Build your foundation in accordance to your highest ideals and make it happen. Okay. And this might be what you have to let go. The need to control, the obsession, a power struggle. Are you in a power struggle with something right now? Maybe a habit, a relationship, a person, an old ideal that you're not ready to let go of? It's interesting. I kind of, whenever I'm doing a reading with solar eclipses or a lunar eclipse, the energy of Pluto always comes through for me, because Pluto, and Saturn are very high karmic cards. But with Saturn, it's like when a person takes mindful effort to address their karma. Whereas like Pluto is needing to do a phoenix process where you have your death and rebirth. It's like there's not really anything to work through. You just have to surrender to the process and let it go and allow something else to come through. Okay. Well, that concludes the reading for pile 1. Please like this video if it brings you peace, clarity, or conviction towards your next steps in life. And remember to trust in yourself. You are made of the earth, of magic, and the stuff of stars. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified with new readings or astrological insights. Please check out the description box below if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me through Etsy, Fiverr, or directly contact me through Gmail. If you're looking for a way to donate $1 to support my channel, I have links below for Zelle and PayPal. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, links below, for daily readings and astrological transits. Okay, pile 1. Okay, I'm giving you the biggest heart hug. You can do this. You can make this transition. You can do it. Okay? You are safe. You are loved. You are blessed. Spirit is looking out for you. Spirit is bringing you safety, a foundation, love, so much creativity, so many beautiful things. Okay? Just trust in it. Surrender. Trust you are being brought to a life that is better suited for you. Okay. Pile 2. Okay. So we have this awesome sodalite. Gosh, and take some messages through this real quick. When I'm looking at these two lines here, I'm thinking like parallel realities, like two people that are not communicating as well as they could. It's like they're living next to each other, but not really living together per se. It's like gosh. Yeah, like the throat chakra is closing off and the insight's closing off. Let's see if we can find any more messages through the cards. I'm going to leave your stone right here so I can tune into my Lunar Eclipse change card here to symbolize the reading. Okay, so let's start with your astrology cards first. We have 7th house partners. What were we just talking about? Parallel realities here. Okay, and then we have the Grand Cross Provoker. Ooh. Okay, that's some tough energies. Okay. So we have the Wise One as an energy that you are bringing. Grow within your current situation. But we also have the Eternal Servitor, the Ancient Wanderer. Hope, incompleteness, and yearning. Gosh. It's interesting he's like holding this little moon right here. So, straight up, I'm getting a message that you are going through a very painful growing process within your relationships. A relationship or relationships, plural. So, I mean, this Grand Cross Provoker, this is a big card. In astrology, it's when you have 4 points at 90-degree angles, which means that it's like all of the fixed signs, all of the cardinal signs, or all of the mutable signs. You know, the reason why this card is so hard in astrology is because you're taking 4 of the elements, all 4 of the elements, earth, fire, water, and air, and you're trying to alchemize it. This is a very difficult transition to have because nothing works in harmony initially. But what's interesting is that the nature of having this Grand Cross Provoker is so that you will succeed in the end. That's kind of the point. You know, it puts you through a painful process because what you learn in this process, you won't take it for granted. You know, and it keeps putting it in front of you, in your face, until you learn the lesson. I don't like saying like you have lessons to learn or anything like that, but as human beings, we can all grow, right? You know, and this is in your 7th house. So 7th house is partnerships, and that could be a work partnership. It could be a love partnership. Any partnership you could think of, really. Business, family, friends, children. I mean, it's strongest most for marriages and business, but this is a reading for the collective, so let's just let all of it apply there. You are being called to grow within your current situation. You have wisdom to learn in this situation, or you have wisdom to provide in this situation. See, this is interesting because, I mean, this card kind of gives you the impression that you feel incomplete or the situation feels incomplete. And this card reminds us that in all things are incomplete. You know, all things are transitory. As human beings, we're always incomplete. I mean, we're perfectly imperfect. But if we were complete, we wouldn't be here. You know, complete implies you're on your deathbed and you're gone. Or it implies you have nothing else to learn, which means that you won't come back through the karmic rebirth cycle. So we're here because we are incomplete, and we enjoy this process of life because we recognize we're incomplete, but we still strive to be complete. It's kind of silly, I guess, when you think about it. But this is a reminder that you are growing. You are growing in this situation. And to make peace with feeling imperfect, making peace with what doesn't feel right, making peace with the incompleteness, understand that there are things that you yearn for, but accept that you can yearn for what you don't have, but also appreciate what you do have. Gosh, I don't know why this is coming up for me right now, but one of my children, she is autistic. And one thing I recognize with her is that life always tells her that she's incomplete. And although everybody is incomplete, relatively, I think what's hard if you feel different in some way, like if you feel like you're an empath or a highly sensitive person or an introvert, or if you're autistic or you have ADHD or whatever it is, if you can't fit in some sort of mainstream bubble, life is always reflecting back to you that you're incomplete in some way. And I just find that so silly because we're always, as I said before, we're all incomplete. So what's the point of some people having their community or society constantly tell them that they're incomplete in some way? When we're all that way. It seems kind of unfair. And, so it's, I think coming to terms that with my daughter, for instance, it's, recognizing that she is perfectly imperfect. She is perfect who she is, and that she has things to learn just like everybody else. I feel like that's kind of what this, energy is bringing forth here. And these two parallel lines in your stone, it's like, making it, I just have to bring this up here. Okay. See how these lines cross? It's like when two people don't allow the lines to cross because they're trying to avoid the tension. And tension provides growth. It provides change. It's like, maybe it's time to cross the lines. Okay? Let's see if we can get some more messages from tarot. Oh, wow. Okay. Tarot has a lot of messages for you here. Oh, start again. Okay. Let's see. Okay. We have the Page of Swords. Gosh. When I don't know. Page of Swords, I mean, that could lead towards mental instability, immaturity, acting without thinking, but it can also point towards like being motivated about a new intellectual subject of some kind. Okay. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. Let's see. See if we can find some context for that. Oh my. the Hanged Man and the Lovers. Okay? So, gosh, Wheel of Fortune means something's changing here, and it's going to be for the best. You know, you're going to have a perspective shift, or someone else is going to have a perspective shift. And it might reunite you and your partner, you and your business relationship, your perception of relationships. Let's see if we can find some more. Three of Pentacles. Okay. You know, if this is business for some of you, this is, you know, you coming to a point of, you know, really starting to collaborate maybe with people that you've been feuding with for a while or not wanting to work with for a while. You know, getting a perspective shift of some kind. We have the Four of Cups. That might be part of your perspective shift here, or somebody else's perspective shift is recognizing, you know, there's this guy looking at these three cups here, everything that he wants but he can't reach, and there's this cup being handed to him and he's not paying attention to it. You know, so it's like maybe these three people are the three cups. And maybe you have to let whoever these people are go so that you can see this one cup that's getting handed to you. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom. Bottom deck energy. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles, when I think of her, I think of somebody who is healthy. Like somebody who has healthy finances, a healthy body, somebody who's grounded, calm, somebody who has the ability to create resources, like resources enough to share with other people. Somebody who's very creative, abundant by nature. So, oh, cool. Look at that. Right under the Queen of Pentacles is the Magician. You know, so this could be you. This could be you. It's saying you have everything you need. You have everything you need to be this person or to have this person. You know, if you have everything you need to be healthy, to have a healthy body, to have money, to be grounded, to be calm, to have abundance, to be creative. I mean, going back to, you know, the message from before, you know, feeling incomplete, you know, we're all incomplete, but you're perfect the way you are. Makes me think of that song, Just the Way You Are. Yeah. Wow, I feel so overwhelmed with just like, like I wish I could just give you a huge hug. I don't know. Like, I feel like you're sad, but new love is coming. New love is coming. You're going to be okay, alright? So, just let this lunar eclipse, you know, help you to, you know, understand that you are worthy. You're worthy of love. You are perfect. You deserve love. You can cross paths with people. You know, you don't have to keep yourself separate or hide or be different or, you know, whatever it is. Okay, let's see if we can get some advice. As a life or death issue, getting and using power, use other people's resources. That's interesting. As a life or death issue, getting and using power. Let's see if I can get some other cards. Gosh, that could mean so much. For humanity's sake, your hopes and wishes, do it for the future. 8th house, 11th house. And that's like Scorpio and Aquarius energy. Gosh, Aquarius just went retrograde in Saturn. You know, this might be like, if you are, you know, in a rough spot, maybe you lost your job, maybe you are having issues and needing to move back home, or, you know, whatever it is, it's reminding you to rely on people. You know, figure out who you can trust and who you can rely on, and let yourself do that. And, you know, do it for your future. Because you know, you have something to offer the world. But it seems that for whatever reason, you know, between this, your fortune and your love, you know, you might be in some kind of suspension right now for some reason. Whether it's like some internal reason or some external reason. Maybe because the lovers are here, some kind of partnership. Okay, oh, Sagittarius. Your highest ideals, the rules, get it out into the world. So, I mean, the lunar eclipse is in Sagittarius, but it also reminds me of, you know, this Aquarius energy as well. You know, while you're, you know, in a suspended state for whatever reason, or as you are trying to cross paths with people, you know, and maybe this crossing of paths, people, it's so you can figure out where your resources are. You know, and then you can figure out, you know, in the retrograde period, which is like the next 4 months, your hopes and your wishes, your highest ideals, you know, really think about those things. You know, and that might be where this energy comes in, you know, your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your highest ideals. You have what you need to make it happen. You know, you can be this queen. Alright. Just want to pull one more card. Just get just one more energy, I think, from this Angel and Ancestors deck. We want you to grow in your situation. We want you to know that you are perfectly perfect. Imperfectly perfect? You're perfect. We want you to, you know, start looking at your blessings. We want you to, we want you to welcome this Grand Cross Provoker here. We want you to welcome this turbulence. It is for your highest good. And then the next card that came out, Star Ancestor. Follow the voice of your soul. Okay? Gosh, these are just like gorgeous cards together. Grow within your current situation. Follow the voice of your own soul. Your highest ideals, your hopes and dreams. Do it for your future. Do it for humanity's sake. It's time to stop seeing yourself as this wandering, incomplete person. You have everything you need. Okay. Well, this concludes our reading for pile 2. Please like this video if it brings you peace, clarity, or conviction towards your next steps in life. And remember to trust in yourself. You are made of the earth, of magic, and the stuff of stars. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified when new readings or astrological insights come out from my channel. Please check out the description box below if you're interested in booking a personalized reading. You can find me through Etsy, Fiverr, or directly contact me through Gmail. If you're looking for a way to donate $1 to support my channel, I have links below for Zelle or PayPal. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, and links are below, for free daily readings and astrological transits. Okay. And just one little moment with your stone. Oh, okay. That moment earlier, I just felt like it's still lingering a little bit. There's a little bit of sadness. I do feel a little hope now. I hope this was a helpful reading for you. You know, just remember that, you know, you can share your timeline with other people. See, I love this point right here. This point right here where you start sharing. This big burst of white. You know, you don't have to be alone. You don't have to live in this world but not live in this world. Okay? Have a great day. Right, so pile 3. It was this one. Okay. So we have this clear crystal quartz. As I'm holding this, I kind of just get this feeling like, I'm looking at all of these cracks and crevices, but it's like, but the stone is still so clear. I feel like it's wanting to, like, clear your past, clear, like you have things that you're ready to let go of already. It's just being aware of it and letting it go and letting this lunar eclipse, you know, bring forth these changes for you. So we're going to put this stone right here for you to kind of connect with this lunar eclipse change card that's here for every reading. Okay, let's start with your astrology cards. We have Saturn return age. Okay, so for those of you that don't know what a Saturn return is, it's when Saturn comes back into your sign from your birth. So it happens like around every 28 to 30 years or something. Okay, and then we have, oh my gosh, Yod, Destiny. This card, I mean, oh my gosh. These two cards together, I mean, this heavily implies a karmic period. I'm trying to get the light to not show up. What, I mean, we just talked about that with this stone. It's like clear your past. this is a clear stone, but it's like all of these crevices and cracks and stuff, you know, that have happened, that you incarnated with. It's like, what happens when you take a stone and you polish it? You know, you make it smooth again. It's like, we want to look at everything. We want to, I'm trying to get the light to not show up. We want to look at our lives and assess every Saturn return what fate is bringing with us. Okay, so the Yod destiny in astrology, this is also called the finger of God. It is when, let's see if we can get a close up. If you can see this pattern here, these 2 points right here are, it's called a point called a sextile point. And so they're points when there's two harmonious points right next to each other that communicate, but this point is inharmonious. It's called an inconjunct, I believe. And it creates a stressor point. It's when these 2 points want to communicate, but the stressor here is causing like a communication malfunction. So it's called the finger of God or destiny, because normally when you have something like this in your chart, which if you pick this reading you probably do somewhere, there is something that you might experience with constant irritation in your life, but it is your destiny to experience it, because when all of this is said and done, this creates a master of whatever perspective it is that you are experiencing here. And with this Saturn return, this is telling me that it's destiny, it's your karma, you're here to learn whatever this is. So let's see if we can figure out what it is that you're here to learn. Okay. Well, this is helpful, not helpful. It says, Oracle, wait for more important information. So you might have just kind of you might have started this process. You might be in the midst of this process, but this is, you know, something that maybe you get to find out a lot more tomorrow for the lunar eclipse, or today, or whenever you're seeing this. Maybe this important information is right around the corner. Maybe for some of you, this might be a process. Okay. So the other energy that's coming in is Lilith, the thief of life, hunger, animalism, instinct. So there is a lot of story about Lilith in history or mythology, or in its relationship to Adam and Eve. Lilith, she would have been, I guess, what people would have called the original vampire, but not always. Sometimes they would warn that Lilith would take your babies at night. That's gruesome. I don't think that's what this card is telling you, but I mean, I hope that this isn't like you're afraid for your children or somebody's safety, or there might be somebody in your atmosphere, you or somebody else, that might have struggles with some kind of addiction of some sorts, and because Lilith also kind of points to somebody that has like an endless hunger, like an empty cup, just wants to eat or feed or drink, and it's just never full. But you're being asked to wait for more important information. Okay. I'm going to hope that tarot, I'm sorry, I just moved to my table. I'm going to hope that tarot is going to bring more information for us. Oh, okay. I feel like this card wants to come Judgment. Okay. When I see Judgment, I think, it's the second to last card out of the major arcana. This is when, we are called before the judge, whoever the judge is. I think in most cases it's kind of ourselves. This is where we stop and we review our lives. And what can we learn from our lives so that we can end the cycle? Because the next card is the world. It's completion, wholeness, attainment, a celebration for life. So Judgment is saying, what can you let go of? And what can be rebirthed for the new phase? And also a lot of, oh my gosh, the world comes up right next to it. Okay, so what we were saying earlier about where you are in your phase, you are near completion. See? Judgment, world. You might be in the phase right now where the lunar eclipse is asking you I don't know if it's saying it's asking you, because the lunar eclipse tends to make things happen whether you like it or not. You are being asked, definitely, to review your life. Let go of everything that was not working for you, and all of the things that are left over. What can you do with it? Are you going to create an inner calling out of it? Is there a rebirth? Is there a new phase that wants to come out? Are there things you need to reflect on? Because the world is right around the corner. Completion is right around the corner. 9 of Swords. You have so much anxiety right now. Your mind is overactive. Your mind is overactive. That falls right under this Destiny card right here, the Yod card. It's like Spirit wants to tell you, it's like you are right here. You're right here. I feel like maybe this is kind of a warning in a way that you have to let your mind rest. And you need to allow this lunar eclipse cycle to carry you through this process, whatever it is. Whatever it is that, Chariot. Look at that. Okay. So, as I was talking, I have a feeling that for some of you, this really hit home. And because you saw this world here and you felt this world coming through, my simple mention of this card made it go away. Like, you know what I'm talking about. You know that you have been all up in your mind a little bit too much, and you're like, okay, Miss Tarot Lady. Miss Tarot Lady, I hear you. I'm ready to move forward. Okay, for those of you that were following me with that, thank you. That was very enjoyable, because you have the strength to do this. You can do this. You are strong. You can, whatever this is, you have the strength to fight it. And I'm also getting a message right now that for some people, this isn't as much of an addiction as it is instinct. This is some people that have not had the ability to really hone in on their instincts for some reason, because maybe life has conditioned you to behave a certain way and it snuffed your instincts out. And, you know, Spirit is wanting, too many cards came up. Spirit is wanting to remind you that human beings are complex and multidimensional. You know, we really only had recently, oh my gosh, yes, this is coming through really strong for some of you. Spirit is saying, your mind, you are too much in your mind. You're just way too much in your mind. You need to get back inside of your body and connect to your instinctual side. Connect to your body. What is the wisdom of your body trying to tell you? What are your instincts trying to tell you? What is your intuition trying to tell you? All of the parts of our body, they explain different messages to us all the time. We have messages that come through our heart chakra. We have messages that come through our solar plexus. We have messages that come through the sacral chakra, the third eye, the crown. You know, it's saying don't. Okay, that one really wanted to come out. Don't hone in on just one intuitive area, which is, you know, this Nine of Swords is one sort of mind, one of your chakras that is in the upper mind, the crown, the third eye. Maybe you're listening to too many people and you need to tune them out, or you're watching too many YouTube videos and you need to start honing in on your body, or you're reading too many books, or, you know, you have somebody that's not giving you good advice, or, I mean, it could even be, you know, it could even be that you just simply get too much information through your crown chakra. Maybe your crown chakra is just so open that you have all of these, I mean, because this came out as I was shuffling. You have too many ideas. You might have too many ideas, and it's just flooding your mind. You know, but I don't like to put a negative context with the Ace of Wands, because it is such a beautiful card. It's a card of inspiration. You know, this could also imply, you know, that you're going to feel inspired. You're going to feel inspired by this shift. You know, you're going to feel so inspired by whatever it is that you have decided in your life you are ready to complete. You know, this is going to bring you new inspiration, new ideas. Oh, look, bottom deck energy. Four of Wands. You're going to be happy. You're going to find happiness, contentment, joy, peace. You know, it's all for you. You're going to be celebrating in safety in your home, whatever that is. Okay, let's see if we can get some advice cards. Gosh, you have so many major arcana here. You have the Judgment, the World, the Chariot, Strength. That's amazing. And on top of that, the Yod and Saturn return. These are like very big energies. The lunar eclipse is playing a number on you, my friend. There might be something that you have not been able to close out for a while, and this lunar eclipse is just pushing you forward, like, pretty fast, since these two cards came out first. Okay, let's see if we can get some advice through these cards. Freedom, associations, and your circle of friends, the 11th house. Gosh, I'm getting like, do you need a new circle of friends? Maybe, like, maybe you have been hanging out with some people that are not serving you. Personal power, the mysteries of life, a major change. Well, thank you, Tara. We already know you're going through a major change. But personal power. Yes, you are finding that. Maybe that's the context of this Lilith card. That, although this deck has a negative connection with Lilith, in mythology and the asteroid, the Black Moon Lilith. Sorry. That points to the sacred, wild, feminine nature. That holds our power. Your vision, what's new and different about you is an unconventional way. Okay, so you are being called to assess your circle of friends, bring forth your personal power and your vision, and you might have some new insights come through for you. And this is what will result of this lunar eclipse. You are going to grow into a completely new phase in your life. And this growth is going to bring you inspiration, it's going to bring you closure, it's going to bring you strength. And, according to this Chariot card, you're moving pretty fast. You are, oh, look at that, right under the four of Wands. You're going to be so happy. Yes. You are going to be so happy. So this lunar eclipse is bringing you some great things. You have probably, whatever you're dealing with right now, you have been in this cycle for a long time. You've been in this cycle for a long time. And, Spirit is saying, you aren't somebody that really has these rough edges anymore. You're refined. You've smoothed out a lot of these corners and rough edges. You are graduating to a whole new phase in life. And this lunar eclipse is just really giving you a really good push into that space. So, according to these cards, you are welcoming it fully. Okay, so this concludes your reading for pile 3. Please like this video if it brings you peace, clarity, or conviction towards your next steps in life. And remember to trust in yourself. You are made of the earth, of magic, and the stuff of stars. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified with new readings or astrological insights. Please check out the description box below if you are interested in booking a personal reading with me through Etsy, Fiverr, or directly contact me through Gmail. If you are looking for a way to donate $1 to support my channel, I have links below for Zelle or PayPal. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, links below for free daily readings and astrological transits. Okay, friend, well, pile 3, good luck. You have some really neat stuff, I think, that's on the way for you. Okay? Have a wonderful lunar eclipse. Okay, pile 4, it is your turn. Okay, I need a quick sip of water because I've already been talking for 75 minutes. Okay. Thank you. Excuse me. Okay. Let's see what I can get from this stone. I'm hearing you're protected, spiritual protection. Gosh. Do you feel like you have been under psychic attack of some sort? Like your psychic barrier has been compromised? Or I feel like that feeling of like you're going into a new direction, and you feel unprotected, but you're not. Like, you're very protected. Gosh, I wish my webcam was better, because this is so pretty up close. I mean, like, when I hold this stone, I feel like multi-dimensional, complex, like all of the layers, like all these little layers. Like, you've been through so much already, and you're kind of being called to do more. Maybe. I'm not sure. Let's see what the cards say. I'm going to put your stone right here under the Lunar Eclipse card that has been here for all the readings. Okay, let's start with... Okay, oh yes, this was the reading that had 3 of these cards come out instead of 2. North Node, Life's Purpose. Okay. I mean, that is always a good thing when this card comes out, because this kind of shows me that you are beginning, or you are on the way of walking towards your soul's journey, like why you are here. Okay, so you have the 8th house, endings and beginnings. And then earth element stability. Okay. Okay, so I kind of get the feeling that the context of this card really should say South Node. Like, because the South Node is where we come from. It is what we know. It's what we've incarnated knowing. It's where we're comfortable. You know, it's... If we... Okay, hold on. Let me start over. For those who don't know what the North Node and the South Node is, these are the poles of the moon. Your North Node is what lifts you up. It makes you feel like you're growing, you're flying, but when you are fully into your North Node, you can feel ungrounded a little bit. With your South Node, which it says Earth element here, but I just have a feeling like this is supposed to be South Node. With your South Node, this is what you incarnated already knowing how to do very well. And a lot of times people will live very heavily on their South Node. And I feel because the Earth element came out instead of the South Node, I feel like it's telling me that you might have been living a little bit too much on your South Node, and it might be making you feel stagnant, or like you're not moving forward, and this lunar eclipse is telling you that now is the time for you to start walking towards your North Node. This is going to feel so uncomfortable. When you walk towards your North Node, it feels very uncomfortable. It feels like being a fish out of water. It's kind of like, this makes no sense, and I'm sorry, I'm ridiculous sometimes, but it kind of feels like if you're a fish out of water, it's like suddenly realizing, oh, I can breathe on land too, but I didn't know that. So it's like, that's why it kind of feels weird at first, because it's like, it's just unknown, but it's also recognizing, like, you have natural talents in this as well. You just didn't really know that, whatever it is. Okay. Okay, so the next 2 cards are Guardian Angel, You Are Not Alone, and the Keeper of Whispers, the Mad Prophet. Okay, so to be honest, this is like my favorite card because this card came out for me in my own readings for a long time, because it was trying to tell me that I have access to forbidden knowledge, but it initially is going to make me feel like I'm crazy or I'm mad. This is a card that tells me that you probably have some sort of like psychic ability or like powers, something like somebody who, has, knowledge that's not like really for everybody. People who are like witches or shamans or indigos or star seeds or psychics or tarot readers, things. It's like people who have access to knowledge in some respect, but we don't know why some people do and other people don't. Like, I feel like this North Node is telling you, like, you have gifts that want to come out. Okay? And this is really neat. Okay, let's see if you can see this. This is the triangle upside down. This is the triangle right side up and upside down. This is like me, kind of what I said earlier. It's like, this guardian angel is not only telling you that you're not alone, but you get to bring what you know with you. You get to bring what you know alongside where you're going. And you're going to feel very happy there. You're not going here alone by yourself. You get to bring what you know with you, and Spirit's coming with you too, because that's kind of what happens when people walk their North Node journey. It's like, this is when we have access. I'm going to put these up here. This is when we have access to Spirit. This is when Spirit and you get to co-create. As you are walking through your soul's journey, it opens up your heart space. It opens up that integration point that Carl Jung talks about in his Jungian, I don't know how to say it, philosophy or psychology. When you are walking your North Node, you are integrating and aligning all of who you are. So if the earth element stability is like the first 3 chakras, your South Node, how you feel grounded and how you feel stable as a person because it's what you know. The North Node, as you go through the North Node, it's when your heart opens. Oh gosh, and look at that picture right here. This is like a person right here who has like this huge surge of energy like through their entire chakra channel. This is when a person goes through their North Node and their heart chakra just wakes up and it moves all up through the meridians, through the throat, through the third eye, through the crown. I'm sorry, it's just blacked out for a minute. And I think honestly, I got a message right there. Are you going through a Kundalini awakening by chance, or some sort of like spiritual activation or spiritual awakening of some kind? Like maybe this mad prophet is like kind of coming here to remind you that you're not going mad. Like you're not, what you're experiencing it's different, and you're getting access to new information, forbidden knowledge. But this process is, it's a North Node process. It's a spiritual process. This is you, this is you gaining access to all parts of yourself. That's something to remember, is that most people in this world are not going to experience a spiritual awakening. That's just the fact of it. This percentage keeps changing, to be honest, but It used to be like 1%, then it was 3%, and now the new prediction is roughly 20%, which is a beautiful thing, of people are now primed to experience a spiritual awakening. But that's still the minority of people, whatever, percentage that it actually is. And the thing to remember about a spiritual awakening is you're not really learning anything new. It's like you're remembering. You're remembering and you're recovering things that you used to know. It's like that knowledge is in you already, so you're not really getting, access to, something brand new. It's just, you're kind of remembering, you're remembering everything that you used to know. All of these points. I get this feeling some of you guys are earth angels too. Okay. The Tower. This lunar eclipse is going to bring for you a huge upheaval, or you have already experienced that. So the Tower is like a release, a sudden insight, or the collapse of stable structures. So for some people, gosh, depending on where you are in this journey, let's see if some cards will come up. It's very interesting that this comes directly after the Tower. So this kind of tells me you might be making a very quick recovery, or that this Tower collapsed some sort of structure, because that's kind of what a 4 indicates, and because it's a Wands card, I mean, this indicates the home. This indicates usually the home of someone in some respect. So maybe something happened in your home life recently. Okay. Two of Cups and 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so this could be telling me that what you recently experienced was a collapse of relationship or a collapse of your finances. This might be you trying to hold everything together, but it's making you still. The fact that there's another 4 right here, 2 4s, in 4s, the theme for a 4 is stability. And if the 4 of Wands is community and the 4 of Pentacles is budgeting, maybe you guys experienced some sort of financial hardship lately. But this equals love. 2 of Cups. Love or new birth of some kind. Let's see if we can get them to go in order here. This could also point to the fusion. It's like, how there's a cup here and a cup here. It's like you trying to put these 2 4s together. You trying to make a stable community of some kind, of like a family or a relationship or a household of some kind, an actual community, maybe like a work environment of some sort. And this Tower moment Oh, the devil. Okay, so I'm going to put this devil card right here next to the tower because I was pointing to it right when that card popped out. Okay. So are you... I don't know. Gosh, I'm like hesitant to even bring this up. Did some sort of hypothetical devil, being a person, a bad habit of yours or another person's or of your community altogether, did your tower fall down because of this hypothetical devil? I mean, the devil points to destructive patterns, addiction, times when you're giving your power away, or it can point to an actual person. What I think is interesting, though, is because this Two of Cups came up, and so the devil, has these two partners right here. It's like the lower side of the Lover's card, This kind of points to a relationship, I would think. And remember, this is a collective, generalized reading, so clearly not all of you are going to be in a relationship. So you're going to have to discern what this means for you. But maybe your relationship fell away of some kind, and it, caused your structures to come down. And this is causing an ending and a new beginning. I mean, dare I say that it might have been because you were going through this spiritual awakening and you guys are no longer vibing. Maybe the person in question is not wanting to let go of their destructive habits and you are ready to let it go. Oh, too many cards. I feel like this card here is now, these two things are now coming together for me, of like somebody crossing your psychic barrier. I really hope it's not that devil. Hypothetical devil. Somebody crossing your psychic barrier and wanting to feel protected, and you are not alone. You are not alone in this process. You have, angels looking out for you. You have people guarding you, your spirit guides. As you walk through your life notes, journey, you are going to really recognize, if you don't already recognize, that you are surrounded by love. You are surrounded by angels who love you, ancestors who love you, spirit guides who love you. You will feel so connected. But maybe this relationship is not helping you to feel that way. So the Magician card came upside down. And that, when the Magician card is right side up, it's a person who's taking action and they're ready to manifest. It came through upside down, so it's kind of telling me, with connection to this Four of Pentacles card, that you are like, you might be in a point of inaction right now. You might be holding on to something, and it's making you feel stagnant. And if it's this hypothetical devil, then it's not serving you. And I'm very hesitant to say that people are devils. So let's just say for right now that um, this is probably, let's look at patterns. Let's look at destructive patterns, the addiction. For instance, I unfortunately am somebody who has a lot of experience with loved ones who struggle with addiction, and it was a very huge challenge for me to recognize that that person doesn't really want those things to happen, that they don't really have power all the time, over whatever they're addicted to. In a way, it tricks their mind to believe that they need it when, it's kind of like if are used, if you're used to managing your inner fire, for instance. Oh my gosh, that is coming through so strong right now. And I just have to point out these two cards that came through in the bottom. Six of Cups and the High Priestess. Okay, huge message. Let me formulate it. Okay, I can do this. The High Priestess and the Six of Cups. I feel like this is telling you that at one point, you felt that maybe this person was your soulmate. Because a lot of times the Six of Cups can refer to being your soulmate. But it's also the belief that possibly you might have to help this person, or, you're sentimental about this person, or whatever this, hypothetical relationship is, whether it's a person or some sort of, intangible relationship. Spirit is telling you to access your intuition, that, the High Priestess comes right after the Magician. And the Magician is action. The High Priestess is inaction. It's telling you to go within and to access your mystical powers, to access your, forbidden knowledge. Forbidden knowledge. These cards could easily be interchangeable. And, yes, I'm having this feeling that it's like, in a way, this Tower moment is a bit of a distraction for you. You might feel like you have to take some sort of action with this right now. But I think Spirit is telling you to go inwards. To go inwards, Gosh, is it possible that you might struggle with I'm sorry if this comes out so rude, a little bit of codependency? Because I feel that your Spirit is sort of telling you here to separate, not physically per se. Definitely if you feel like you're in danger, definitely separate physically. But psychically, separate psychically, so that you can go through your North Node process that is being prompted for you. I'm sorry, I just shake the camera. You're in a process right now, and the lunar eclipse is trying to create the circumstances for you to be in the process. But you're going through a period right here where you might think that you have to address this but Spirit wants you to go here. You know, Spirit wants you to not necessarily take action, but to go within. You know, making a choice to access your higher powers. And I think it's because they want you to recognize that you have a whole team. You have a whole team looking out for you. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides. You have a whole team looking out for you. You have knowledge to access. You just started your North Node journey. You just started a spiritual awakening, or your first one wherever you are, because we can have several. You just started an awakening. Your foundation, the Four of Wands and the Earth element here, and Four of Pentacles here, all of these are really strong indicators or foundation. The lunar eclipse is creating a tower moment for you to recognize what it is that's keeping you in this space and keeping you from walking your life path, your North Node journey. You know, maybe this is you. You know, maybe you have some kick butt high priestess powers ready to come through. Okay. Let's see if we can get some advice cards. I also didn't do this for the other readings, but I feel like Spirit wants me to make a spell for you. Okay. So this is a really neat deck. It's just like a deck of spells. Let's see if it can, tell you a little bit more of what this is interesting. I feel like, okay, I'm going to do a second one because I kind of feel like that one was only for some people. Okay, yes. Okay. So we got two different spells. We got a money spell and a moon spell. Okay? So there's a spell for wealth. It wants you to anoint your third eye with essential oil and pray aloud. This offering I make as my blessing to all, the greatest of gods, Lord Jove of the sky, from you all heavenly gifts do fall. Most generous of all, you never deny. To you I am grateful, so mote it be. Okay, so I feel like for some of you with this card, it's kind of like reminding you to watch out for a lacking mindset. Maybe for some of you it might be literal wealth, but I do think that for most of us, or you, this might be perspective. Your perspective of, not feeling, gosh, this could also be in relationship to the devil right here. That destructive pattern might be that you might struggle with like lack consciousness, or your surroundings, the people in your home, the people you surround yourself with struggle with it, and it affects your psychic barrier. You feel affected by it. And so it's like your North Node is wanting to separate you from those energies. In this one, I feel like this is a partial remedy. I feel like this one is, I'm not going to read it because it's just maybe you can pause it and read it if you want, but it's basically saying access your joy. That's what's going to lift your vibe. That's what's going to lift your vibe. And that's something that the North Node offers for us as well. It helps us to access what makes us feel alive. Like, it makes us feel like we're flying, you know, in a way. Okay, let's get some advice cards. Oh, okay. This card makes so much sense with this one. Okay, and this is the line. Keep your involvement hidden. Okay, this is something that I've heard happens with everyone, and it happened to me. When you are accessing your psychic potential and your psychic gift, because, you know, maybe you have a very porous energy, and you're able to access other energies very easily. When you're learning to be in that phase, you want to keep your involvement hidden in it, because most people will do whatever they can to remove you from that process. They will put doubt in your mind. And a lot of it's well-meaning. It's just most people are never going to experience this. So it just looks like make-believe or pretend or sci-fi or woo-woo or, like, you know, crazy people talk. But if you are somebody who has legitimate, you know, psychic abilities, which I think most people could do it if they weren't filled with so much doubt, but if you're somebody that has legitimate psychic abilities, it's very important that you protect your involvement in it and protect your development in it, because when you're seeking oneness with all there is, the world has I wouldn't want to say the world, other people have a way of wanting to take you off of that path for whatever reason that it is. It's foreign to them, it scares them, they might think that you might get in contact with bad energies or the bad realms, or, you know, they might be scared you start talking to the devil. But it's not really like that. It's not like that. For some people it might be like that, but for people that have actual gifts in psychic energy, you recognize that there's a lot of very helpful guides out there for us. There's a lot of very helpful energies out there for us. And for a person who is ready, they have the ability to discern which energies are for us and which energies are not for us. One way that this was described to me that just has stuck with me forever is the analogy of we are a house. Okay, so when you start opening up your psychic potential, remember that you're a house. When somebody comes to your door, and let's say it's the devil, if somebody comes to the door, remember that if you don't like them, you can close the door. You don't have to let them in. I think that's the sad part of a lot of our conditioning as human beings, is we are so, you know, in the external world, when we deal with people, there is a general disrespect of boundary and a general disrespect of somebody's personal needs. You know, we tell women that they must be nice, like never say a rude word, even if it's warranted. You know, we've created this culture where when somebody has something truthful to say, we shun them, and if somebody has something nice to say, even if it's dishonest, we welcome it. And that's kind of an energy that has transitioned into our psychic space. This is our symbol for psychic space right here, because it keeps coming up with this stone. We can be just as discerning with our energies as we can be with the people that enter our lives. And with being discerning with the people that enter our lives, this builds our psychic strength as well. Like, they work in tandem. It doesn't really work that well if you have poor boundaries in your physical reality, but you're trying to build strong boundaries in your psychic reality. It doesn't really work like that. And I feel that this is kind of what your reading is leading you to recognize, is that you need to find a oneness, an integration point with your psychic life and your, material life. That they should support each other. They shouldn't work against each other. Same thing with this south node and north node here. They should support each other, just like in this card, with the triangle upside down and the triangle right side up. And then when they're together, they create all these other interesting patterns that didn't exist before. We have to be integrated in all that we do. Okay, let's get another. Okay, fourth house. What makes you feel secure, supported, your home base, and your family. That is another 4 for you. You have 4 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, and now the 4th house. So this definitely points to your home. By this point, at this point, your home, whatever your home, whether that's the home with your parents, or the home with your spouse, or a roommate situation. The serving of others, the details of do what you must do. Okay. I feel like this is telling you that, Virgo normally is an energy that says service to others, but because it came upside down, the red side is the upside down. I feel like this is kind of showing you that maybe you should be a little bit more selfish with your energy right now. Do what makes you feel secure, what makes you feel supported. And, maybe take a step back from serving others. One thing that I have always appreciated about people who serve others is, over time, they become masterful in investment, because they recognize that as an individual person, they have the ability to help a lot of people, but if they make a poor investment in their time, they drain their own resources. If they make a good investment in their time, they can help a lot of people. And if you're a service-oriented person, where a lot of people who are, I'm sorry if this is upsetting people because I'm bringing up this word again, a lot of people who find themselves in codependent situations are naturally service-oriented people. They are philanthropists. They are altruistic. And a lot of times they find themselves in a codependent situation because they miscalculated the person they're investing in. And then we we struggle with situations where we're not ready to give up. So I feel like this lunar eclipse is showing you that to work on your psychic space, you need to be in alignment in your entire life. You're being called to walk your soul's journey, and your soul's journey probably involves a lot of altruism, a lot of service to people, sharing a lot of your forbidden knowledge, connecting fully to the universe, your spirit guides, your ancestors, helping people. And I feel like this reading is sort of telling you that this lunar eclipse is helping you to see that you might have made some investments in your life that you need to, oh gosh, I hate saying it that way. You might have made some investments in your life where you just need to cut your losses. Every investment does not work out. That's, any entrepreneur will tell you that. That's the reason why they usually pick several businesses at once, which is, I hope I'm not suggesting that you have several partners, because that's not at all what I'm suggesting, but the reason why a lot of entrepreneurs have several businesses at once is because they recognize that not all of them are going to work out. And when they recognize that one doesn't work out, they cut the loss. And it's not cruel, it's not mean, it's just if somebody is not willing to recognize your help, accept your help, or value your help, if you stay in that process, it becomes enabling. It becomes, they start to continually disrespect what you have to offer, and then your value becomes minimized and undermined, and then you start doubting your worth and your ability. And so I feel like this lunar change is also telling you that you're ready to go through this spiritual awakening. You're ready to move back into the space where you have a lot to offer people. Okay, so that concludes your reading, pile 4. That was really heavy, so and detailed, so it might not apply to every person, so I hope that you are able to pull some messages out of that to bring you peace, clarity, or conviction towards your next step in life. And remember to trust in yourself. You are made of the earth, of magic, and the stuff of stars. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified with new readings or astrological insights. Please check out the description box below if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me through Etsy, Fiverr, or directly contact me through Gmail. If you're looking for a way to donate $1 to support my channel, I have links below for Zelle or PayPal. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook's links below for free daily readings and astrological transits. So, okay, pile 4, good luck, and, happy spiritual awakening, or happy North Node journey. Those are always so very exciting. Okay, pile 5. We have this Charoite stone. I still don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's gorgeous. Gosh, this stone has such a gentle strength about it. It's hard to describe, I think, sometimes. I've had this stone for many years, actually. It was one of the very first gemstones that I ever bought. I was just obsessed with these streaks of purple, and I'd never seen a stone this color before. But I feel like this is a stone, I Okay, I feel like this is a stone for people that might struggle with like loneliness or separation anxiety or like feeling separate from people some way. I mean, it's very soothing. It's a very soothing stone. I kind of feel like this might be why I gravitated to it many, many years ago, because when I was on my spiritual journey and I was going through a lot of healing at the time, I felt very alone, because on a healing journey, it's not always possible to feel connected to people because you're having to, in a way, kind of like dig deep into a space that's not, that not everybody is comfortable in being in. So, when you're in this space, it can kind of feel very alone. Let's see what the cards have to say. I'm going to put your stone right here under the Lunar Eclipse Change card to, help us connect to this lunar eclipse for you. Okay, let's start with your, what were we just talking about? Healing. Chiron. Okay, so for those of you that are not familiar with the tale of Chiron, Chiron was like half man, half horse. And the story of Chiron is that, he was so injured and, okay, please forgive me, I'm sort of paraphrasing this, so please don't light my ass up because I get some of this story wrong. But Chiron was somebody who became skilled at healing because he needed healing. It's like the process of healing while healing other people. Like, every time I see this card, it kind of reminds me of people that are like counselors or therapists or like people that are into alternative health or like mediators or, something along that lines, like somebody that deals with people or supports people through healing processes. And while he or she is supporting another person through a healing process, they heal. That's kind of the interesting story about Chiron. Okay, and then we have Jupiter returns benefits. That's a really beautiful card. Yeah, I feel like this might be... Okay, let me finish the cards on this one because I'm already getting a lot of messages here. So we have the Trader, exchange energy to create abundance, and then we have Hathor, the mistress of harmony, mediation, communication, and culture. I was just talking about that. I feel like, okay, all of this together, this is like telling me that this lunar eclipse is helping you to come to terms with your soul calling, because you are going to find success in achievement in walking this path, and maybe it's something that you've been struggling with for a long time, and you've just not walked in that direction, or maybe you're finding yourself walking very quickly in this direction, because Jupiter returns benefit is also the same. It's very similar to the energy of the Chariot in the Major Arcana, and the Chariot is like very quick movement and progress. So you might be recognizing that, this is your path. And with this stone here, what is that coming through? I mean, are you working with people with therapy, like people who are struggling with grief? People that just feel alone in some context, like maybe they're dealing with loss or addictions or kind of sadness of some way. You know, maybe people that are in a phase, that are in some sort of phase in their life, and they need some sort of shift or perspective shift. Gosh, I keep hearing like healer, counselor, therapist, alternative health of some kind, your soul's calling. You know, this card right here is saying, you know, okay, that's not coming out clear. Exchange energy to create abundance. This is like telling me, like, this could be financially beneficial for you. Like, it's like saying, like, exchange your gift to other people, kind of for profit, but, you know, whatever you value as your money system. You know, and mediation, communication, culture, that's like, you know, mistress of harmony. You helping people find inner harmony, or you're helping people to communicate in some way. That could bring back the mediator again. Like, do you work with, like, are you a marriage counselor, or do you work with people with custody cases, with children, like divorces? You know, are you finding yourself, you know, wanting to enter this space differently? You know, where you bring healing to this space? Let's see if we can get, you know, tarot to give us some messages here. Oop, that's a lot of cards. I don't know if that all wants to come out. Actually, yes, they do. So we have strength. We have the Three of Wands and the Two of Swords. Okay, so you feel indecision about this. So I think we kind of touched on that earlier, where you know, this is something you might have been thinking on doing for a while, and you might sincerely be considering it now. You might have been on this journey for a while, and you were kind of feeling like you're in a standstill, like you're not receiving any benefits quite yet. You know, but Spirit's saying, you know, stay strong. Benefits are on the way. You know, you are going to be reaping the rewards of your efforts. Oh my God, you have been working hard. Yeah. Whether that's working hard with other people or on yourself. You have been working very hard. Okay, so we have the High Priestess. We have the Four of Cups in reverse, and the Three of Swords. Okay, well, the Three of Swords indicates a heartbreak or a betrayal. The Four of Cups, I mean, when it's upright, it kind of points to being dissatisfied with what's been offered, but because it's this way, I feel like this is telling you, I mean, did something happen recently where you were betrayed and you might be considering the offer of recovery or forgiveness or, you know, what's it called? Reconciliation is the word I'm looking for, I'm sorry. feel like with this High Priestess here, this is telling you to go within, don't take any actions right now. Like, whatever this situation is that you are finding yourself needing healing about, Spirit is kind of showing you to stay strong. Stay strong. Look to the future. You feel indecisive, maybe because you've already worked hard on this relationship or hard on the maybe the venture that you're doing. Maybe you had some kind of like partnership, like a business partner or like family of some kind, and you know, something happened where you worked really hard on finding this reconciliation. And I think through your hard work, that's why, you know, you were considering this upside down cup here. Like, you're really looking at this upside down cup. And so when it's right side up, it's when somebody is looking at the cups that they've lost and not looking at this new awesome cup coming from Spirit. When it's this way, it's like, in the context of a relationship, it's like only seeing the good and not seeing the bad. You know, so it's like, either way, the perspective's a little bit imbalanced, unfortunately. You know, it's like, if you've been working on this for so long and you just don't want to let it go, you know, this lunar eclipse is telling you to use your intuition, go within, don't take any action right now. Like, you've got some healing to do, and I feel like in this healing, this is where you find your soul's calling. You know, maybe this process right here is unpleasant and as awful as it is, you know, is bringing you into a new space. And here, look, this is at the bottom of the deck, the Fool. This is a new beginning for you. You are being asked to go within and really look at your inner resources and connect with yourself, with your intuition. Because when you do that, you have a new journey on the way for you. And I think that with all of these other cards right here, you have a soul's calling waiting for you. You know, you are a healer from, you know, the looks of this card. You are a healer, and everything that you've been through that's painful, I mean, it's not right, it's not validated, but it's not worthless. You know, there's things that you have learned in this process. Maybe this is what inspires you to really move forward. With your soul's calling. You know, it's, you know, recognizing that in this lunar eclipse cycle that you don't have to heal alone. You know, like, you don't have to heal alone, even though the High Priestess points to inaction and going within. It doesn't mean you have to go alone. You know, there's other people that you can help. There's other people that can heal alongside with you that may have similar stories, but you might find that just by simply helping people, you feel healed. Maybe just by moving into a different direction, something that apparently you have been pondering on for a while, I think. Okay, let's see if we can find some advice. Your beliefs, the cost of, use the most direct way. I think for some of you, are your beliefs about hard work or marriage or not giving up or making things work? Are they causing you to stay in this cycle? Because this card's telling you to assess at what cost. You know, what's the cost of staying where you are? I mean, this card also could point to, when it comes to looking for your Jupiter returns and your Chiron healing and where you're supposed to go in the future, you use the most direct way. What's the most direct way? One thing that I learned about helping people is I think we always think that we have to have like a PhD in something to help people, but not, if you're in some sort of alternative health or healing, business, there's not always a PhD for that. Okay, so 9th house, spiritual values, long-range thinking or travel, what is to be shared? It's funny we're talking about that because the 9th house has to do with higher learning. So for some of you, maybe it is going back to college. For others of you, it might be accessing what knowledge you already know and what is ready to be shared now. Long-range thinking or travel, spiritual values. Maybe your goal includes moving to a different area. Okay. Cooperation to perfect, decisions about resulting from the fairness shown by Libra. This is interesting. I'm kind of getting a message for some of you that if this is a marriage that we're talking about and you wanting to work through your marriage at the expense of your soul's calling, this card is saying to some of you that you can work it out, that you can perfect the cooperation with your partner, and you can make this work, resulting from the fairness shown by. So how can we make this fair for both of you so that you can follow your soul's calling? Or this is kind of pointing to some of you that because this card right here, the cost of, I hate saying this, definitely use your discernment, okay? Hopefully not many of you are recognizing that you cannot have both in your situation. That your soul's calling with your relationship might not work. And so I think that this Four of Cups and Three of Swords and this Ten of Wands right here is kind of pointing to you to really assess your beliefs and if you can really cooperate with this person Gosh, that's really heavy. Okay. Okay, I'm kind of feeling like we need to grab maybe another card here. Okay, let's get this Oh gosh. Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. Oh gosh. I mean, have you been on the defensive for some reason? What is it? Oh. Have you felt like your life just got uprooted for some reason? I mean, I feel like these cards are like, I want to bring back this High Priestess card over here, over the Shield Maiden. Remember that sometimes inaction and going within is the best action. Okay? And remember, right after it is a new journey. And I think while you were going through this process, make your plans, guard yourself, focus, stay rooted, stay grounded. Because on the other side of going within is your new journey. And on the other side of your new journey is your soul's calling. Okay? And right under the Fool is the Eight of Wands and the King of Wands. And Justice. Okay. Justice is swift. Okay. Resulting from the fairness shown by. I mean, that is justice energy right there. Fairness, equality, balance. Gosh, I hope you're not in a legal situation of some kind. I hope that it's just, you know, the scales of karma balancing out in your favor. You know, but swift. This is happening quick. You know, whatever's happening here is going to be quick. You know, and with the wands here, vision. Your vision. Make your plans and focus. You know, ground your vision. Okay, that concludes your reading, pile 5. That was another really heavy reading. So, please remember that this is a reading for the collective. So you need to practice discernment with figuring out what applies to you and what does not apply to you. So, please like this video if it brought you peace, clarity, or conviction towards your next step in life. And remember to trust in yourself. You're made of the earth, of magic, and the stuff of stars. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified with new readings or astrological insights. Please check out the description box below if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me through Etsy, Fiverr, or directly contact me through Gmail. If you are looking for a way to donate $1 to support my channel, I have links below for Zelle or PayPal. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook. links below for daily readings and astrological transits. Alright, so we are almost 2.5 hours in. These readings came through so much more intense than I thought for my very first reading on my new channel. If you've stuck with me this far, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please leave a comment. Please reach out to me. Let me know how this reading resonated with you. And oh my gosh, good luck on this lunar eclipse. I can tell it is a doozy. Alright, guys. Stay safe. Stay blessed. I love you. Remember, you're made of magic, the earth and the stuff of stars. You can do it. We can do this lunar eclipse, period. Remember to surrender to the energy of change and just let it wipe away all of the unnecessary energy that you no longer need anymore. Okay, love you guys.